All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me adjust this for myself. I need to see what I'm doing. Let's see, I can zoom out. All right, so I'm playing a 60 card Unison deck. So it's a Zamasu 60 card Unison. All right. So obviously there's pretty much no combo power in here because it's all Unison, so no combo power. I can only play one Unison at a time, obviously. Now this, obviously you can say, this is a meme deck. This is not like a legit deck. Now when I make my extra Unison deck, yeah, that'll be legit. I'm working on that concept. I'll probably be using Hatchiyak as the leader. It depends, there's probably a couple of leaders that's good. That's useful for the extra Unison concept. The concept of the extra Unison is literally extra cards and Unisons. The extra cards is what gives you the extra abilities, right? Right, extra, right? The extra abilities, like negates and stuff like that. Stuff that you need to, survive in battle and all that good stuff, and be able to KO battle cards and this and that. So, like, I'm working on the concept because it's not impossible to do that. In Magic, we have a concept called Super Friends, which is the idea of a deck that has a lot of planeswalkers, and Unisons are pretty much based off of the concept of planeswalkers. The thing is, in Magic, you can have multiple planeswalkers, or aka Unisons, in play. In this game, we can't have multiple Unisons in play at any given time, but it would be cool. Hopefully, Mana sees this and like maybe make a leader where the effect is you can have multiple. You can play Unisons in your battle area, so that way you can have multiple Unisons in play, as well as make it where in your hand they have combo power. So that'd be kind of cool. That way you can have a like Unison extra card deck, or just a all Unison deck. That'd be kind of cool if they want to do that. Like how they did with King Code, how they made it where you can play multiple field cards. They made a field card that gives you the ability to play multiple field cards, right? So that'd be kind of cool to do that with like Unisons. That'd be kind of badass. Because recently we got like a Broly deck, right? Like a red Broly, people call it EX Broly, the anniversary Broly, where you just essentially just playing extra cards. It does have a battle card in the main deck, but you get the idea that it's like it was centered around the idea of just playing extra cards. So I like the idea of like a concept focusing on a certain card type, like a deck of Unisons, a deck of extra cards, a deck of only battle cards, right? A deck with no super combos, right? Hypothetically. But you get the idea. So I am working on a extra Unison concept, extra deck Unison concept. The thing about Hatchiyak, it prevents me from using tokens, but it does restrict my opponent's attack. So we'll see how that works out. Like I said, I'm still working on the idea. It is not impossible to play multiple Unisons. I already played a lot of Unisons in Hatchiyak already, so it's not impossible to play more. So that is something on the works. Blue tends to have the most blockers. They even have a Unison that can, which is the Zamasu Unison, that can negate an attack and whatnot. So that's a thing. Here in this video, I'm just talking in general. Sorry about it. In the match, as you can see, my opponent is currently at 3 life, and they're on turn 3, and on their turn 3, I'll be on my turn 3 next, and I'm at 1 life, but I'm awakened, so that's a thing. The thing sucks is that board wiping would be very helpful in this situation, but I currently don't have the ability to board wipe. From right, what's going on here? Oh yeah, this. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so yeah, I survived that turn, so I did get to rats. So I do this. What I should have done, but it turns out to be pointless because he was able to stop the attack. But what I should have done was attack his Black Man Sane with my Cyberman Unison, then make the token so I didn't have to discard 2 cards from my hands. But it is irrelevant because it's not like any other cards in my hands I can combo, so it didn't matter that I lost 2 cards. But why lose 2 cards when you didn't have to, right? Is the point I'm trying to make. It's like I could have avoided losing 2 cards by playing the token by just attacking first. So he does this. He negates my attack. So this is his, like, his floodgate negate. So he negates the attack, and I only get one more, or maybe one or two more, like Unison, battle card swing or something. So I do get at least one more Unison swing. So I'm gonna take that extra Unison swing. And I got the token. The token has 5k combo power, so yay, I can combo. That's the thing, I can combo, which ironically does become a factor later on. So I swing for 19k. I think I get my point down to 1. I mean, definitely I get him down to 1. I just don't know if it should be this turn. I think I get him down to 1. I think we're just waiting for him to decide if he's taking damage. Like, yeah, no combo. Because I think he was trying to imply that I couldn't attack, but it's like, no, I could attack. Remember, I get 1 extra attack. Like, I can only attack 1 more time after you use your card, or maybe 2 times, or whatever. The thing is, I do get to attack my Raditz, so I attack one of my Raditz, so I got my opponent down to 1. So we're both at 1, but I have I'm in my second health bar now with my Unison. So as long as I can, reduce how many attacks he does, I have a chance of surviving. I can't see too clearly. I'm at 30 something, so I potentially have 2, 4, 6, 7 life technically, something like that. If I'm like at 38 or something like that. So he tries to do double strike. I combo, but then he points out, and I was like, oh, good thing I combo, because man, I would have lost 10 cards. Right, but then he points out that he's actually attaching my attacking my Unison. I was like, oh, okay, that's different. Why not my leader? Why not just, but I get it, because my Unison is a blocker, so okay. But the problem is that in his mind, he thinks my Unison is 15k, which we eventually, get to the point where it's like, no, they're not 15, not 15. And he's trying to assume there's like those 2 attacks is enough to kill my Unison, but it's like, no, you're 16k. I'm 19k, so none of those attacks hurt my Unison. So, but then he wants to take the attacks back, and I'm like, no, you can't take those attacks back. You already wasted them. We already went through 2 attacks. We went through 1 attack, did nothing. You went through another attack, did nothing. And then when I point out, I was like, I'm 19k. And I did say earlier that once he hit me 16, I'm like, all right, I'm 19, so no problem. Then he attacks with the second attack, but then starts arguing with me like, but I'm 16k. Like, yeah, and I'm 19k. You have to combo. He's like, oh shit, my bad. But then proceeds to take all his attacks back and tries to do it again. It's like, no, let me pause it for a second. It's like, no, oh no, just keep playing. Oh wait, I can't stop it. Gotta keep playing, right? All right, so it's like, no, you wasted those 2 attacks. So you have like 4 attacks left that you can try to do. But then he shows me his hand and says, he got me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, are you trying to claim that you have victory regardless? And it's like, but until you actually beat me, you didn't beat me. And then he left the game. So it's like, all right, well, I'll take the victory then, right? Thanks for the W for leaving the match without finishing it. We're supposed to finish it. The game wasn't over just because you say so. You have to actually play it out. Now, I wasn't planning to win, but I had the potential to, because all I had to do was get to my next turn, deal 1 damage, and GG, right? But he wanted the W. It was like, okay, you want to claim victory, but you didn't actually finish the match for it. So you gave me the W. So there's that. But so far, obviously, this is not the most optimal build, obviously. I wouldn't play a 60 card Unison deck. Even though I am playing 60 card Unison in this video deck, I wouldn't do that. I would rather play, extra cards and whatnot. With the build, and play a couple 1-drops, 2-drop Unisons. Well, I want to play more of 1-drop and 2-drop Unisons. That way, on turn 2 I could play 2 Unisons. In turn 3 I could play 2 Unisons, like 1-drop or 2-drop. You get it? Play 1, use it, and then replace it with another one. That way I could do more in a turn than just 1 Unison per turn. Because 1 Unison per turn is not optimal, obviously. So I'm going up against hand destruction, right? So I'm going with the hit strategy of drawing. So obviously I'm going with the draw cards to counter the hand destruction ability of my opponent's strategy. So of course you're going to be seeing my opponent ripping my hands, but then you'll see me replenish my hands and just keep ripping. So ironically, I made a video about how to combat, or I say beat, but you get the idea, how to fight against, how to deal with hand control, which is, yes, drawing cards, playing cards that work in the drop area, and so forth and so forth. I mean, if you have an ability to negate effects that make you discard, that will also be useful, obviously. But typically, the most common way to deal with hand destruction is making sure your cards are useful in the drop, as well as playing all your cards before your opponent can start ripping them out in your hands. Play them and get them on board faster, and and drawing, like the most typical thing, things you can try to do. Because it doesn't take a genius to do hand destruction, obviously. As you can see, he's like, oh, 4 rebrands. I'm like, damn, the odds of you getting, I said 4 rebrands. He used 2, but he already used 1 earlier. So turn 2, he did 1. Now he's on turn 4, he did 2 more. It's like, damn, the odds of you getting those rebrands. And yes, he will get a rebrand later on. So it's like, damn, all 4 of your rebrands in a 50 card night, you managed to get all 4 of them. The odds of that. But oh well. It can happen. Just a little suspect that it definitely happened. Like, damn, that's a lot of rebrands. His leader only burst 2, so he didn't mill that much to even get that many rebrands. But I guess when he mulliganed, the idea was to try to mulligan and get as many rebrands as he could in his hand or something like that. But anyway, but it's interesting that he got the rebrands and he got the what's her name? The 3-drop girl. When you play her, your opponent drops 2 cards from her hand and she can attack 3 times in the turn in which she's played. So it's like, yeah, that's a lot. Every card you play negs 2 cards from my hands. I'm not able to draw fast enough because I have not yet awakened my leader. My opponent has awakened. Of course, I forced my opponent awakened earlier than me. My opponent awakened on turn 3. I have not yet awakened. I'm currently at 5 life. My opponent's at 4, and I haven't awakened yet. He's doing some crits, so that way I don't plus. As you can see, I have no cards in my hands. He doesn't attack, so because he doesn't want me to get no cards in my hands. But then I'm like, all right, no charge, play this, because I don't need that much energy. Since I'm only playing 1 unison a turn, 4 is more than enough. So I use my leader, my unison, and my leader's ability to plus. I'm trying to get myself to my awakened side, so that way when I start swinging with my leader, I can start drawing. So I don't really draw like that on the front side. I don't draw for attacking on the front side, that's what I'm saying. I do have a way to draw, but that requires me to sacrifice life to do so. But in the situation, because of the whole hand destruction stuff, I have to try to do something. Now granted, none of the cards in my hand have combo power, obviously, so it's, drawing to get them in my hands pointless. It's just the fact that I want to make sure that my opponent's not saving their hand destruction effects for like later on. I want them to use them sooner than later, because I want at the point when I get to play something, I want to play something. Since I'm only really playing 1 card at a time, the idea is to try to draw as many cards as I can, so that way I can have something, at least one thing to play. Now this sucked because it's like I really wanted that 5-drop. That would have been nice. So that's the thing. So my opponent's at 2 life. I'm at 1. I'm awakened now. I got 2 cards because of course I awaken, so I get 2 for my leader's ability. I draw for the turn. I charge in energy, right? Yeah, I charge in energy because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play 2 unisons. I'm gonna actually play 2 unisons in this turn. So I swing the leader so I could draw, see if there's any extra options. Sucks that the Zamasu unison cannot get rid of his unison. It only gets rid of whatever's in the battle area. So it can get rid of field cards. And battle cards, of course, but it can't do that. But I was like, okay, I use her to warp the battle card so that I get rid of the battle card, and then I can use this to replenish my hand. Instead of using my -3 on my unison, I used the -2, so I could draw 2. That way I could try to have something in my hand, stuff I could try to play. And I'm gonna swing, because now I'm awakened, so I don't have to worry about being defensive. So I don't have to block. Is what I'm saying. That's why I chose this leader, because I don't have to combo, obviously, because I can't, and I don't have to block as much. I should still try to block, obviously, defend, but I don't have to worry about defending myself. That's why I call these types of leaders defensive leaders, because they defend themselves. Like, I don't have to defend them. I don't have to protect and block and combo, negate all the time. I can let them defend themselves. I let them, you know, fend for themselves, as they say. So he got that because it's like, oh, you got that extra double strike. You milled me out. I only had 9 cards left in my deck, so it's like, you got that. And fun GG. But as you can see in both matches, I got my opponent down to 1 life, even though I had no combo power, I had no battle cards, no extra cards, only Unison, 60 of them at that. And yeah, proof that the game is so easy that I don't even have to build a good deck to get my opponent down to 1, or at least potentially win. Now if I had a Unison that can burn my opponent for 1, then I will win in that scenario. But I wouldn't play a 60 card Unison deck, even though that's what I just did. I would, you know, obviously play extra cards and Unisons in Unison, right? Make sure that it has synergy and make it actually balance and work and all that good stuff. But this shows the proof of concept that anything is possible when you're a god. No, I'm kidding. And that's the end of the video.